Hey guys, so I just completed phase 2 of a 50k evaluation, and I decided to put this video out there because I know there's a lot of people out there that's struggling with, say, getting funded or going through these evaluations, say from phase 1, phase 2 to eventually getting funded. So, and most importantly, for those who swing trade, because it takes a lot of time. And if you've been watching my analysis, say from my weekly focus or the other videos I've done, you should know I swing trade. So predominantly I'm a swing trader, and I'm going to show you certain things. Just so we'll look at the dashboard and we'll look at the trades I took and how long it took for me. So let me share the dashboard real quick. All right, so this right here is, say, funding traders, and this was a 50k account. So I went through like with a 50k account, and this is like for phase 2. So for the profit target, you need to make, say, 2500, and as you can see, this is 100% complete already, and that's it. So we've already made this 2500 on this account, and that's why we've passed this account. But the most important thing I want to show you, it's how long it takes for me to hold certain trades. And so we're looking at, say, the trade duration. So let me just walk you through some of the trades. So you look here and you see I have this trade. I was sat in this for like 6 hours. I had this for like 62 hours. I had 20 hours, 64 hours, 63 hours, and let me go through. You have 79 hours, you have 13 hours, 104 hours, 55 hours, 58 hours, 29 hours. So it takes a lot of time just to sit through some of these trades once the execution comes in. Another important thing I want to show you guys is how long it takes for me to go from one trade to another. So you look like right here, the first trade was on the 17th, and the next trade came in on the 19th, the next trade came in on the 24th, and I had another trade on the 25th. But from the 25th, you can see the next trade came in on the 2nd of the next month. So I had this on the 25th of April, and the next trade came in on the 2nd of May, and then I had the next trade on the 6th of May, and then the next one came in on the 25th. So you see there's like almost 2 weeks between this trade and this other trade. And I know for most people it's quite difficult for you to sit during periods like this, because you're trying to trade almost every day, and it's quite difficult. But if you understand your system, if you understand what type of trader you are, then you can comfortably sit during periods like this, say from the 6th to like the 21st, where you're not doing anything, you're just watching price and waiting for that setup to come in. So you see on the 6th I sat through, and then I had a trade on the 21st, and that trade was actually, it was a good one. So the wait, I didn't wait for nothing. It actually paid off. So from the 6th I took the trade on the 21st, and I made like 2% from that. So I had another trade on the 26th, I had again another trade on the 27th, and then 29, and then on the 2nd, on the 3rd, on the 14th. So this again, there was a period where I didn't take any trades, and I just sat through. And this is very important. You need to go through this period, you need to go through this process and sit through these trades, especially if you're swing trading. And that's why I decided to put this out there. That's why I decided to go through my the dashboard and show you this analytics, so you can actually appreciate how long it takes for me to go through certain trades, and how long it takes for me to sit through certain trades as well. And on this account, you can see predominantly I was trading gold, and I think I had just one trade that was in gold, and this was on silver. But predominantly I was trading gold on this account. Now another important thing I want to show you guys is the equity curve. So when you look at the equity curve, you see like this period where I just have break-evens, and then I have drawdowns, but I don't have drawdowns for a very long period as well. And that's because my risk management is on point, and that's something I can pride myself with. So when you look right here, you have a lot of break-evens, and here there's a full hit. And even when I take losses, because it's a 50k account and I risk just 1%, but it's very difficult for me to take, say, I risk $500 basically. It's very difficult for me to have, say, a full hit of $500, because I manage these trades accordingly or properly. So you see 300 here, I had a full hit like 600 right here, but then Here is a loss as well, $96. 488, this was a full hit as well, but here you see there's a break even, here there's another break even, here there's a loss, it's not a full hit as well. And so you see the wins always outweigh the losses. And with the way I trade, I can comfortably tell you I'm around, say, 45%. That's my win rate. It's around 45%. I know the in and out of my system, I know the in and out of my strategy, I know like everything that is needed for me to go through on the valuation. So when you know certain things, when you know certain numbers, it's very easy for me to sit through periods like 2 weeks when there is no trade setup and I'm still comfortable. I'm not forcing anything because I know when it shows up, then it becomes easy for me to execute. Now let me see if there's any other thing. So there was a consistency rule on this prop. So these guys have a consistency rule where you're not allowed to have, say, a single loss that's above 1,000. So you can't risk on this account, say, more than 2%. And I didn't even hit this one because I always risk, say, 1%. And what else can I show you guys? So the trading days, you see 233, I think, because they count in the period when I started with this account. They still had the MT5, and then eventually the prop firm thing had all these issues, and then these guys had to switch us to like the Trade Locker. And once they did this switch from MT5 to Trade Locker, there was some period where I wasn't even trading. So this account, I'm just showing you everything that happened on Trade Locker once we got switched to Trade Locker. So that's a dashboard, these are the analytics and everything, but you can see, you can appreciate how long it takes for me to sit through a trade once I execute it, and you can also appreciate how long it takes for me to go from one trade setup to another trade setup. So I'm not taking trade-ups like back to back on the same day. Sometimes I have, say, a period of like 2 days from one trade to another trade, and it's not me just setting it and saying I want to sit for 2 days. No, I wait for price to give me a setup, and sometimes it takes 2 days, sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes 2 weeks. So you need to understand your system, you need to understand what type of trader you are, and this is something I keep preaching all the time, especially if you're swing trading. These things do not come often, like somebody will scalping. Another important thing I want to explain here is you can be comparing yourself to your mentors out there. So if your mentors are doing this evaluations in, say, 1 week, you can compare yourself to your mentors. So because there's this knowledge gap, your mentors might be right here and you're still here. So if you're learning, there is this gap you need to cover. So if you see these people out there going through these evaluations in a week, these guys have a different understanding of this chart. They have a different understanding of how this business works, and you need to cover this gap first before you can compete at this level. So you need to understand these things, and you can't just be rushing the process. You can skip, like you can't just go from here to here. You need to go through the process. You need to go, say, one step at a time, and it's a gradual process as well. You can't rush it. So take your time, guys, and don't force anything. And another important thing I want to share with you guys is how you control yourself when you're going through these evaluations, because there's a lot of people that get distracted. So when talking about distractions, let me show you. Discord is one of the highest places where you can get distracted. You have Discord, and then you have Telegrams. Let's say you have 3 prop firms you're working with, and you're connected to the Discord channel of all these prop firms. You have prop firms that have almost 10,000 traders. There's some, and at a given time you have almost 2,000 people actively communicating, and you have people showing you trade analysis, trade breakdowns, markups, and things like that. This can get you really distracted, and it can make you second guess the trades you're taking as well. So when you're going through this process, especially if you're a beginner, you want to stay away from distractions as much as possible. And one of the places you want to stay away from is Discord and Telegram. So you want to stay away from these places, and if for any reason you have to be on the Discord channel, go to your Discord channel, like say the Let me show you guys. So go to the Discord channel of your community or the mentor you're working with, and you stick to that. So this is my Discord channel, and I have my friends here. It's a private community as well, so it's not public, but you can see I have people, I have friends who I'm currently working with. So you want a channel where, or you want a community where you can ask questions and you can get clarifications. That's the highest thing you need to do once you have this Discord communities. It's not for you to go in and you're communicating or you're chatting on every trade setup another person puts. No, you stick with your community, stick with your mentor, stick with the person you're learning from, and stay focused, because you have to treat this as a business, and you have to treat this as something serious. You can't just be hopping from one Discord channel to another Discord channel and you're having this information from every person. Like Discord channel number 1, they're talking about this trading setup. Discord channel number 2, they're talking about this trading setup, or they're talking about different strategies, and you're just caught up within that loop. So stay within your community and follow along. Just watch what your mentors are doing, watch the trades they're taking. So this is my channel, for example. You don't have to be on my channel. First of all, stay with your community, but make sure within your community you're asking questions and you're getting clarifications as well. Guys, you can't just be hopping from one place to another. You need to stay focused, laser focused. That's what you really need to do. So you've seen my dashboard. I've shown you everything. I've shown you how long it takes for me to go from one trade to another trade. I've shown you how long I could be sat in a trade. It takes a couple of hours, 60 hours, a couple of days, like 2 days, 3 days, and I'm just sitting because I understand the system, I understand my process, I understand everything around my numbers as well. So you need to really, guys, you need to stay really focused and try as much as possible not to compete with the people you see out there. Try as much as possible not to compete with your mentors out there or other guys you see on the internet completing these challenges in a week or completing these challenges in a day. Now problems have even made it difficult for you to complete these evaluations in a day. So it's going to be difficult going, say, 6 months from now, 1 year from now. It's going to be very difficult, and you need to think above like prop firms. You need to look at other avenues as well. Ask yourself, if you have investors out there, do you think an investor is going to give you a huge sum of capital after you, say, just showing them, say, a track record of, say, 1 week? No, you need a lot of data for you to convince people out there. And so when you swing trade, especially those who are swing trading, take it seriously, because it can help you build up a lot of data, and it can help you pitch yourself out to other people out there. And it's very important you understand these things, because once you start trading, there's also periods when you can have home runs, and there are periods when you can have winning streaks. So you need to know how to navigate during this period. And I recently made a video on the post-win trap. So you want to check that video. I'm going to attach it to this one. The link is going to be somewhere around. So watch that video on the post-win trap. It's going to help you as well, because when you're going through evaluations and you start having winning streaks, so the first 3 trades you take, if these trades are all winners, you need to be very careful, because you might get into the post-win trap. So the post-win trap is something that's very important. So watch that video. It's going to help you. Make sure you're improving your trading every single day, and with every single trade you take, make sure you're improving, say, by 1%. And every day you come and you sit on your trading decks, make sure you're improving by 1% every single day, every single trade. Alright guys, so if you found this interesting, don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm going to see you during the next one. Bye for now.